chariots on fire and horses
Yes.
that were fire.
That's right. So he
And
saw
angels.
God's army. And could the Syrians see God's army?
No.
No. But Elisha and his servant knew. They saw. So then first Elisha's servant, he felt very what? When he did not see God's army. How did he feel about what was happening? Matthew?
Terrified.
Terrified. That's
He
the
was
perfect
afraid.
word.
He was
Oh yeah,
afraid.
because he was getting all pale, right?
He
He
was
was so
afraid
scared.
till he saw that Elisha told him that they had God's army.
That's right. So then when Elisha prayed for God to open up his servant's eyes and the servant saw God's army, Evan, how did the servant feel after?
So
Great puns. Evan?
I'm just gonna explain at the end of yesterday.
Okay, the end of yesterday. Okay, so I'll come back to you. So June, how did his servant feel after he could see God's army?
I don't know. I'm just asking that tomorrow I'm gonna bring like a book that has like,
Towards the weekend.
some pages and there's this page when you pretend you're holding like some tea and there's marshmallows in it and then you blow on it like out and in.
So after spring break, maybe that would be good. Okay, so how did the servant feel after he saw God's army, grade ones? Rebecca? Happy, yeah, he wasn't scared anymore, right? He knew. He was like, oh no, God's on our side, we're good. Yes, Abram?
I wouldn't be scared. I would just punch all those bad guys in the face.
I would be terrified.
I
I'd
would
be like, I would literally look at them. If I didn't, before I would see God's army, I would look at them and be like, that's it, we're toast, we're gonna die. I'd be so scared.
I would get a vine and then some funny and then jump.
Alright, we're not being silly. So Evan, you wanted to say something about the end of it. Go ahead.
I don't remember.
Okay, that's okay. Alright, we're gonna get started now. Okay. So, and what did they do when they walked into the trap? What did Elisha do? He told Joram something. Bronwyn?
Don't kill them.
Don't kill them. What did they do instead?
Just
Yeah, they fed them and gave them something to drink. So they were kind to them and they sent them off on their merry way. Right? Okay. So the people that lived in Samaria are in great distress. So distress means you are in a lot of pain. You are very mentally. You are very scared, very upset. Nothing feels good right now. They are in distress. Okay, they're very stressed out too. The gates are closed and the watchmen are on the walls day and night. The enemy is encamped outside the city and they are lying in wait to conquer Samaria. The enemy? What enemy? The Syrians, under the leadership of Ben-Hadad, their king, have surrounded the capital of Israel. Interesting. So the Syrians are back. Even after they were sent on their merry way, the Israelites could have killed them, but they did not. What? The Syrians again? Did Ben-Hadad begin all over again? Yes, he did. His thankfulness did not last very long. The kingdom of Israel shall and must be destroyed. Therefore, he has gotten together his entire army and has gone up to Samaria. If the capital falls, then the entire kingdom will fall. A mighty enemy lies in wait around the city, but the greater enemy has come inside the city. Does anybody have an idea what this enemy inside the city could possibly be? Abram?
God.
Not God. God's not their enemy. God is for them. Matthew?
Elisha?
Not quite. Not quite. Maybe if you know this story, maybe you could take a guess. Jordan?
Jesus.
Not Jesus. Jesus is not their enemy.
He's
So the enemy in the city is famine. Does anybody know what the word famine means?
Yes.
What does famine mean, Isabel?
No water.
Yep. Or food. So these people are starving. So food is getting scarce, which means that there's like no more. There's very little food. And no additional food can be brought into the city. So they have no more food coming inside. So they're just constantly running low on food. So as you eat it, it's gone and that's it. It's just gone. So they have like no food left. The Syrians will see to it that the food will not come in. So the Syrians are all around the city making sure that the people inside cannot get food. Does that make sense? Soon, the city is in a state of absolute misery. The most disgusting food is being eaten by the people. Even the head of a donkey, Jordan F. Evan, put your leg down, honey. Even the most disgusting food is being eaten. Even the head of a donkey is sold for a large amount of money. And this is pretty crazy because a donkey is considered unclean. So the Israelites were never allowed to eat that type of meat. They did not eat donkeys. But they are so starving, grade ones, that they will eat the head of a donkey even, which is like the last thing you would eat on a donkey. You eat everything else before you ate its head. Okay? So it's already crazy they're eating the donkey, and it's even crazier that they're eating the head of the donkey. Do you understand that? That's how starved they are.
The eyeballs in.
Yeah, they'll eat anything at this point. So, even they will eat the dung of a dove, and it's sold for very high. It's very expensive. Dung is like their poop. So could you imagine being so hungry that you'd actually be willing to eat a bird's poop?
Ew.
That's
Sick.
really gross.
It's sick.
Yes, it's really sad. So they're in a very desperate situation. The people become super, super weak and super, super thin. So they've lost tons of weight. They've probably lost a lot of their muscle. So their bodies are just so weak and they're probably so tired. So do you think that these people are even in a place where they could fight somebody else?
No.
Physically? No, they're so broken down. Their bodies are so weak right now. If this continues any longer, they will have to give up their city. Otherwise, they will all die of starvation. Yes, Evan?
What if they can't even move anything on their body?
Yeah. You could be so starving and so weak that you can't even physically move. Because food is what to our body?
Sure.
Willow.
Energy?
It's energy. So they don't have any energy coming in their body. So they probably can't even barely move. Yes, Isabel?
Are these the Israelites?
Yes, they're in the inside, yeah. In Samaria. So a man is walking on the walls of Samaria. He is Joram the king. He is going to see that the watchers, or what the watchers are doing, whether they are doing their duty. Deep in thought, he thinks, "Help, my lord, O king." He looks up and sees a woman standing in front of him. The king pulls up his shoulders and answers. And answers. "Women, the Lord does not help you. Neither can I help you. What must I give you? Wheat or wine? I don't have either." Joram thinks that she wants to ask him for food. However, he notices after that she did not intend to do so. And he asks, "What is the trouble? What do you want?" Then the woman tells him something which is very terrible. She and another woman live together in the same house, and they each have a son. Because they are so, so hungry, grade ones, they made a super horrible agreement with each other. They decided that they would kill their children and eat them. The one day, they would kill and eat one child, and the following day, the other boy would be killed. Super sad, right? How is it possible that a mother could kill and eat their own child? They came to this terrible agreement because they were so hungry. Okay? The son of the one woman had already been eaten. So The first boy, they already killed him and they already ate him. Now, it's the other woman's turn. But she doesn't want to do it. She refused. For that reason, the woman who she now feels deceived, right? Like the other woman lied. She calls to the king for help. She wants Joram to actually force the other woman to keep her end of the agreement and kill and eat her child. Okay, so you have these two moms. One already killed her child and they ate the child, and the other one now, I don't want to do that. I don't want to kill my child. And now the other woman's angry because she already killed her child. Right? So how do you think that she feels right now?
Sad.
Isabel? Sad, probably. Yep. How else? Bronwyn?
Angry and deceived.
Probably angry and deceived. Yeah, so deceived is like lied to. Levi?
She probably feels like very, very hungry, and she really wants to do that thing.
Yeah, she really wants to because she's hungry too. The king is deeply affected by this. So he's like, what? I can't believe this is happening. What? So he rips his clothing off because he's in distress. The people can see that he's wearing sackcloth underneath his clothing. And this is a sign of mourning. Do you know what the word mourning is? Rebecca?
Crying?
Yeah. Crying, Bronwyn? What's the feeling that goes with mourning? Yeah. So when people die, so if someone dies and you go to a funeral, you mourn the loss, right?
Yeah.
Like you feel sad and you remember them and you go through all of these really tough emotions. So he is mourning right now. Suddenly the king calls out, God, do so and more also to me, if Elisha the prophet shall not be killed this day. What does he mean? What on earth does Elisha have to do with that? Children, Joram became so angry with the Lord, the God of Israel, that he now seeks revenge. The Lord allowed the distress to become so great that those horrifying things had happened in the city. So Joram can't even believe that the people are now, they're so hungry that they are actually killing their own children and eating them. So he's angry at God now. Does that make sense? Because he sees this as, well, God has allowed these terrible things to happen. Would God ever want that to happen? No. So Joram will now have nothing to do with God anymore. Neither will he have anything to do with Elisha, the prophet of the Lord. Therefore, he wants to kill Elisha. King Joram, the Lord is not the cause of this misery. The fault lies within you, because you will not worship the Lord, but instead the golden calves. Therefore, the Lord is punishing you and your people. So this is a punishment because Joram won't worship God. He's worshiping false idols. So besides, he's very ungrateful. Is this the thanks for all that Elisha has done for him? Joram rebels against God. Instead of humbling himself to God, he resists God. So resist means to push it away from you, right? So he's resisting God. He sends a messenger to the house of Elisha to kill the faithful prophet. Elisha is sitting in his home. However, he is not alone at this time. The elders of the city of Samaria are visiting him. They talk together about how bad the famine in Samaria is. They will not be able to live much longer. The messenger who must kill Elisha is coming towards him. The Lord will take care of his servant, though. The Lord already warned Elisha and made it known to him what Joram's plans are. Interesting, eh? So again, do you think this plan's going to work?
No.
God keeps talking to Elijah. God keeps telling Elijah what's going on. Suddenly, Elijah says to his guests,
come by here shortly. He has been sent by the king to murder me. Be sure to not let him in. The king will follow shortly. Do you think Elisha's scared right now?
Yeah.
Probably not. As soon as he said this, the door is thrown open by a man that steps inside. But the elders of Samaria take hold of this intruder and force him to go out to the street. A little later, Joram appears. He wants to see if Elisha is dead. No, Joram, God watches over Elisha, and your wicked plan is unsuccessful. It didn't work. The king also notices. Oh, the king cries out. The Lord allows all this great misery, even mothers to kill their own children and eat them. I won't hope upon the Lord anymore. He will not help us anyway. Then Elisha answers, King, the Lord will surely help. There shall be deliverance, yes, even very shortly. Tomorrow about this time, the famine will end. Tomorrow there will be plenty of flour and barley sold in the gates of Samaria. A mocking laughter is heard. So what does a mocking laughter mean? Matthew.
It means that he's like laughing.
Yeah, and they're like making fun
Laughing.
of what Elisha is saying. Yeah, like, ah ha ha. Like it's like the sarcastic mocking laughter.
Yeah, you're talking like. Yeah, he's like.
So if someone is
Elisha.
when someone is mocking you, do you think that's what you're do you think that they're taking what you're saying seriously?
No.
No. So they don't really think that this is going to happen. They think this is a joke. So that is impossible, he says, unbelievingly and angrily. Yes?
I know it means like one day Elisha was getting mocked by the 40 children and like they were calling him names.
That's right. Yeah. So we have seen mocking before in the Bible, right? This is not the first time. Then the Lord will have to make windows in heaven and let flour and corn rain. Otherwise, it cannot be. I think I heard knocking at the door. Does I have someone there? What the?
Oh, you just knock going down the hall and then you knock on the door.
Oh. That was weird. Okay. Where am I? You think that cannot happen? Says Elisha. You shall see that I have spoken the truth, but you shall not eat of it. That shall be his punishment for his mocking and unbelief.
This is your walker.
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Okay, guys, stop knocking. All right. So we're gonna stop there. We will continue Bible obviously after spring break.
Spring break.
And that's that.